Okay. Go ahead and get started with Coach. I'll make an opening statement. Then we will take questions from the players, and then we'll dismiss the players, and then we'll finish up with Coach. So,
Okay.
Coach.
I thought our guys did a great job of the way we started offensively. We were a little rusty, and we haven't played for 2 weeks. I've never had to coach in a situation like that, and the team. And so there's probably a little timing was off just a little bit, but we had some good looks. They were just going in and out and in, so you just kind of, but our defense got us through the first 10 minutes, and that's why we were close enough that once we got our offense clicking, we scored 87 points in the last 30 minutes probably. So once we got it really clicking, then I think it looked we were really effective in the way they moved the ball. But these guys did a great job with the game plan. We know they're really good drivers, and they were in the gaps and getting after the ball, and that's why we set a school record for steals tonight. Peanut with 6 of them. I'll let him talk about that. Here we go.
Question for players.
Oh.
Pearson, talk about the steals.
I just think it's a game plan. Bernie just had us in a good plan and just being in and out. And, what we say is the ball finds you. And today the ball found me and led us some fast breaks and just led to easy points.
You forced 22 turnovers like that, and then you turned a lot of those into fast break points, 18-0 and fast break points too. How big was turning the defense into offense?
It's just huge for the game. It flips the script for us. It just brings energy up for everybody. And just our whole team was dialed in on defense, and it just shows how. We had 16 steals as a team, so it just shows everyone was locked in and did their assignment.
It didn't seem like there was any panic. You guys were 1 for 11, just a rough start, but you were still right there, down to 6-7 points. It wasn't even crazy. What did you see in terms of just trying, as Coach said, work the rust off?
Yeah, I just think we started off a little like everyone trying to get theirs. I think we shot some shots that we shouldn't have shot, including me. But coaches calmed us down, and the players calmed us down, and we settled in. And then once we kind of found our groove and started pushing pace, the game kind of came easy from there for all of us.
As a freshman playing a postseason game like this, what's it like for you?
It's great. I've never played this many games in my entire life, but just super blessed to be here, and just couldn't be here without these coaches and the players around me.
Tyson, with so many guys that have body types like wings, how does that help you guys when you're out in transition running the floor?
We got a lot of guys that can handle the ball in transition, so when we were able to get those steals, it didn't matter. It didn't matter who we threw it up to. Someone was going to make a play, and I think that's why you saw so much success with points off turnovers and fast break points as well.
What did you see from the slow start?
It was just kind of getting our legs back. You don't play for 2 weeks. You're not really in a rhythm or anything like that, and it just took us a little bit of time to get back into playing, and we weren't playing bad. Like defensively, I thought we were pretty good in those first 10. Or just offense wasn't clicking, and once we started really being in the gaps, I think the game kind of flipped for us.
You guys are no strangers to coming to Las Vegas, obviously. What had you excited about participating in this event, a first-time event? There's NIL money on the line, Pearson for a guy like yourself, maybe a chance to help out yourself financially.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts just about being in this kind of environment?
I just think we're all super blessed to be able to come out here and play after a season. Obviously, this is not the tournament we want to be playing in, but I think this opportunity is great for us, and I think there's a reason we're here. We're ready to go. This tournament's no joke. These teams in here are no joke, and our coaches and our players are all locked in, and we're ready to go.
Tyson, the 27 points off turnovers has to be a season high, or pretty high, it would seem like. Just what did you see from the defense, especially in the second half there as you built the lead?
I think we were really locked in coming out of the break. I think we obviously didn't play our best first half, and we just had to come out with some energy and get some easy stops. And then once we got that, we got some easy buckets, and that's when you saw us kind of go on a run. We didn't really get that lead up until 8 minutes left in the second half. So it took us a little bit, but once we got going, we were just fine.
How did you limit Castro?
We just tried to make his catches out as far as possible, not knowing if we were doubling or not, just kind of mixing it up with him. just trying to make every touch he had hard and keep him off the offensive glass.
Take a couple more for the players if there are any.
Just in terms of the motivation, obviously you guys proved it out here today, but I mean, just to come down here and some teams may not want to be here, it obviously looks like you guys do. I mean, how focused and motivated is this team here to try to win this thing?
This is a very, very focused group, especially led by the seniors. Like, this is our last go-around in college basketball, so we just want to give it our all and just see where we can end up, and I think we have a team that can go all the way.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take questions for Coach.
Coach, a question on the defense. Middle of the season, that was a storyline, for
Yeah.
the wrong reasons. I mean, in a postseason game, get 27 points off turnovers, 18 fast break points. I mean, what can you say about the defensive effort?
Yeah, it was, you don't win that game, especially those first 10 minutes, because they could have been up 20. The way our ball just wasn't going. We had some pretty good looks. We kind of settled for a few shots that we probably shouldn't have settled for. And we just didn't have much rhythm to our offense. But we did have good looks. They just kind of rattled in and out a few of them. And they could, if our defense wasn't good in that stretch, then all of a sudden, like you said, you're down 20-2, and then that's a problem. So that all of a sudden you were right. Once you started making shots, you were right back in it, and then you kind of edged away from them. So, but the guys did a great job of taking the game plan and getting knowing what we wanted to do and go out and execute it. That's the biggest thing.
See what Pearson did, and then Julian finishes in double figures. I mean, for some of your young guys to get postseason experience,
Yeah.
how big is it?
It's great, and they don't look like freshmen anymore, at this time of year, and that's what you want. And you want them playing. I thought it was great minutes for Julian tonight because, that team was into you and they're pressuring you, and he took care of the ball and handled it, and just it looked like he was the most, a lot more confident than maybe he has been. And those minutes help you become more confident because they're going to be up into the ball, and you handle the ball successfully against that, them. That's really going to help him, down the road.
The snub from the NCAA committee wore off. How did you get your guys focused on coming here and be ready to play, at your best?
Yeah, well, I left it up to them, and we got, like Tyson said, we got great leadership. I didn't want to force them to do this. I didn't want to force anybody to play. We play for the love of the game and the love of each other, and they didn't want to break up. They didn't want the team to be gone. And I think that week, because we had spring break right after our conference tournament, I think that it would have been hard for us to play that first week. I think we kind of got away from each other, and everybody went on spring break a little bit. Then when we gathered back up, there was an excitement to be back together again, and an appreciation that we get to do this, and we were excited to. And they don't want this to end because we just enjoy our time together, and they're smart kids. They have good perspective. They don't want to regret anything down the stretch. And this time of year, there's very few teams playing, and there's only a couple can end the season on a win, and that's kind of a I've done that one time in my whole life, I think. That's the hard thing about athletics, and that was when I single-handedly won a state championship in football. You don't get to do that though as athletes usually. I mean, it's pretty tough to do. Only a couple teams get to end on a win. So that's what these guys were buying into and wanting, and that's why you see the energy, enthusiasm, and excitement to be here.
You talked a lot about the NIL money and all that, but I mean, now in Wednesday's game, these guys are playing for $50,000. I mean, how weird is that, I guess?
Yeah, we haven't let that creep into who we are. That's the rainbow at the end, or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and you can't focus on things like that. You focus on the process and what we do and the enjoyment and the being in the moment together, and then that will take care of itself. And each game is going to get tougher and tougher and tougher if you can, we're good enough to advance, or but we're going to play a really good, great legendary coach and a really good Butler team, and who had to really work today against another, in a tough game, and they found a way to win. So we know we're going to have to keep, playing better and better as we go, into Wednesday.
The efficiency that Tyson had on offense today, I think he was 8 for 12 and 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Yeah.
Some guys who are shooting 75% from the field and 3 of 3 for deep, they'll just keep going.
They should keep going. That's what I've been,
The offense,
yeah.
you almost admire that a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's a yes and no, because I'm of the shoot more, get him more, but Tyson he's one of those guys that he plays basketball the right way every single time, I mean, he has very few possessions in his career here where you're like, I'd love him to be where he takes a few more tough ones. But that's why he's loved, that's why he's appreciated, and like you said, he goes out and gets 19 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, just so efficient. On a night like this, most guys could go get 30, but that's not what Tyson's about. He's just about doing what's best for the team at all times. And, I've not struggled, but I've been encouraging that his whole career. But you got to kind of let guys be who they are, and more aggressive. He got 3 threes up, 3 for 3, and had the game been tight, there'd have been a lot more shots for him on demand. Yeah.
You talked a lot about this team being one of the closer teams and liking each other.
True.
And all that. I mean, just to have at least 2 more days for them to be together.
Yeah.
Want to make it to Sunday, obviously. There's just something that's a part of it. Is this, is that.
Yeah, that's what's driving it. And, hats off to the Crown. They're doing a great job. It's the first time they've had this tournament. So, everything's just been first class. That's what you want. You want your guys at the end of it's the feather in the cap of the year for your players. So you want it to be a cool thing. And that's how it feels. I mean, I have not seen one detail where you're going, that's not everything they're doing is first class, and this thing's going to grow, and we're appreciative to be in the first one. And I think that shows in our play.